Hey everyone, I'm Ishan Sharma, and in this video, I'll be talking with Shreya Patar, and she'll be talking about her own journey into copywriting. She has been working in this niche for quite a lot of time. She has worked with a lot of clients around the world, and she will be talking about what did she learn in this space. How can you get started in copywriting? The timestamps are given. You can move around if you want to. I hope you'll enjoy this video. Hit the like button and subscribe to this channel. And here is the video. Hey Shreya, thank you so much for joining me for this video, and how are you doing there?
Hey Shan, I'm doing really well, and I went through your YouTube channel, so I really, enjoyed the videos. So it was totally yes from me. I have to do a podcast with Ishan. Thanks for inviting me.
Oh, that's amazing. I watched your reels on Instagram and I was instantly like, this is the person I want to talk to about content writing.
Awesome.
Yeah. So tell me about your journey. How did you get started in this category? How did you learn the skill of content writing, and how did you get started with your career getting opportunities?
It all started, basically by fluke or luck, something like that. Because I always knew that, I loved writing. I always knew that I would end up writing in some form or the other. Although my career goals were different. Initially, I wanted to be a doctor. But somewhere in my head, I knew that I always wanted to do some form of writing. And I think along the way, like just before I was going to give my NEET exams for medicine, I decided that, okay, no, I want to study literature. So along with the NEET, I also gave the SAT the very next day. And during that time, I started interning. So I took up a few internships here in Mumbai itself, majorly with media houses, PR agencies, learning content writing, social media management, social media marketing, web copywriting, things like that. And I think those really gave me an idea of what kind of writing I want to do, because even in my head until then, writing meant, being an author, but that's not what I saw myself as really. And when I came across the word copywriting, I actually thought it meant, you copy something that someone's written, and it didn't make a lot of sense to me again. But then the more I read about it, the more I realized what copywriting is, what content writing is, and the more I learned about it, even in my internships. And then in 2018, I moved to Dublin for my undergrad. And there, I think most of this magic of, content writing happened there, freelancing happened there, because in college, I met so many different people. I was exposed to so many opportunities that led me to becoming a freelancer. So one of the key highlights would definitely be that almost as soon as I joined college, there was an event where the current executive chairman of LinkedIn was there. So Jeff Weiner, he was there for an interview. And after the interview, I just spoke to him about, how I could use LinkedIn as a student. And he spoke to me. He was very kind. He spoke to me for 2 minutes. And when I went home that night, I just wrote a post about meeting him and, the conversation we had. And I put it up on LinkedIn. And I didn't really realize what I had done. I just, it was just something. I had a LinkedIn profile. I was a student, so I never really used it. I didn't want a job. I didn't want an internship. I had no idea what to do with it. So just had a LinkedIn profile. I thought it makes sense. I met him and he's the LinkedIn CEO, so it makes sense to, post about it. So I posted about it. And I think the next day I was in college. I was just attending a lecture. My phone is never fully on mute because I don't get a lot of texts. So that day when I was in the lecture, my phone just kept vibrating constantly. And I was not sure what was going on because, as I said, I don't get a lot of texts. So I saw it later and I realized that there's like 3,000 notifications and it's actually from LinkedIn. Like, okay, this is new. And it turned out that the post went viral. So the post already, like the next day when I saw it, it had like 100,000 views, something like that. Lots of likes, lots of comments, lots of people messaging me, about the story, congratulating me on that event or incident. Some people even asked me if I could write for them. And this continued for a few days. And over the next few days, the post got over 1.5 million views. And I got thousands of DMs. And because of that, I ended up getting around 4 clients. So I got my first 4 clients from that post, because it wasn't even something great. It was just people saying, hey Shreya, we love the way you wrote the post, and we're looking for somebody who can write a web copy for us, or an article for us, or a brochure copy for us. And I was like, yes, let's do it. And I had similar experiences in my internships. So I had done similar things. I knew graphic designers from my internships, so I was able to just pick up some people, get some things done, and it worked out great. And that's how it all began. That's when I realized that LinkedIn has a lot of potential. Of course, my next few posts didn't go viral, because although in my head I thought I had figured out what virality is on LinkedIn, it's not how it works. My next few posts had like something like 30, 50 likes, so not a lot. But I just stuck to it. It's been 2.5 years, and at this point, it's safe to say that any single day, whether I post or I don't post, I do end up getting at least 2 to 3 inbound leads. Whether they're qualified is a different question, but the idea that just sticking to LinkedIn and just putting out content has given me this opportunity to actually work with people across the globe and not always have to search for people, but instead people can find me as well. So that's really how it all started with. I don't know what it really started with my decision to pursue writing, or even before that, or with the viral LinkedIn post. I'm not sure. But I do think that all of these things together just, gave me a push to make things happen faster as compared to how they probably would have happened if I'd started, let's say, after college or something like that. So yeah, that's the story.
Awesome. I can totally relate with that. I was making tutorials on Python programming language, right? On my channel. I made 4 of those and they got like 100, 200 views. And then I get contacted by unacademy saying that, hey, we saw your video and we want you to start teaching on our platform. So that was totally unexpected. I did not even know कि ऐसा भी होता है.
Right. Yeah, I mean, if you that's the thing. Like I always say, you have to show up. It's not about doing the best thing possible. It's not about getting the maximum views, maximum likes, or even trying to create that perfect piece of content and put it out there. It's not really that. It's just about showing up. Because if as long as you can publish content, you don't know who will see it. That's the beauty of the online world, right? Out of 100 views, if one right person can see it, that's enough. That's deal breaker for you. So always show up to these things. Like whenever you find an opportunity, just go ahead, step up, show up, and I think that can lead to something life changing.
Definitely. So how can someone differentiate themselves in this content writing niche? To me, I'm more into video editing and like graphic design and social media and all. So what I view content writing is like a competitive niche. Everyone tries to get into it. How can someone differentiate themselves in this particular category then?
I think one of the things is to be really good at what you do. There are tons of content writers. I have a team of content writers, which means I have had writers approach me. I've had writers send me their samples. I've had writers do some sample tasks for me so that they could be hired. And based on that, I've realized that everyone who's a content writer is not always good at it. So the basic things would be, even if you have something as basic as, let's say, having good grammar, proofreading it, editing it properly, giving a good look and feel to it, even to the document. The how a document looks makes a really huge impact on how your client perceives it and how your client decides to give you edit. It makes a huge impact that not many people realize. So I think that's one thing that makes you stand out. First is being really good at your job, not just like writing, but at how you deal with the person. So again, when I've had people approach me that they want to write for me or things like that, sometimes their message is not professional. They don't know how to conduct a proper sales call, or they're not able to deliver the value properly. Even though they may be good writers, they're not able to deliver the value properly. So I would say that first, of course, be good at what you do, not just writing itself, but the whole scenario of constantly learning how to start from really start from scratch in a conversation to actually end up convincing the client or delivering good work. So that's the first thing. Second thing is that if you really want to stand out, you have to provide something different. And how do you offer something different? Like as you said, there's probably millions of content writers in the world. So how do you provide something different? It's when you bring different skills together that allows you to become the one person that the client has to deal with. So what this does is, let's say, as you mentioned, you're a video editor and you like graphic designing. So let's say we tie up, okay? So that you've got a content writer on board as well. Let's say you find one more person who can do social media management. There's 3 people. You could also, of course, you could learn these skills yourself and you could do them, or you could get people and work together with them. Now, what this does is this creates a high value offer. So let's say you are the one dealing directly with the client. Okay, so Ishan is going and talking to the client. But behind the scenes, he's working with me for the content and he's working with someone else for the social media management. Now, instead of saying that, okay, I can design graphics for you, you're going to say, I can do social media marketing for you. Your value just shot up, your price just shot up, how much you can charge shot up.
Right.
The client is more happier because they are getting everything from one person. It's so difficult to deal with 5, 6 different freelancers for the same thing. So if you can offer all of these different things together, then it's very easy to stand out. Also, of course, you decide whether you want to learn the skill, hire people, but I would still say that you should still have a fundamental knowledge of any skill that you are hiring as well, because if they're not around, if something goes wrong, and if you have to judge the piece of work that you're getting, you have to have that knowledge so that you're providing your best work. So that's my thought on how you can stand out. Mainly, be good at what you do in a holistic way, not just the task you're given, but the whole presentation and everything. And second is combine different skills so that you can be unique by offering like this one-stop solution kind of thing to your client.
You talked about how you can combine different skills and you can charge more from the client. How can someone charge as a content writer? How does it happen? Does it happen on the value basis? Does it happen on the per hour basis, or does it happen on like the per word basis? And what is like the good starting point for anyone who is just starting in this field?
I always recommend per project. So it could be, let's say, per article, it could be per month, it could be for for 3 months. The best way, of course, if you're doing a one-off thing, it would be like, let's say, per article or per website copy. And if it's a monthly thing, it would be, let's say, 4 articles. So you're giving a package deal of 4 articles so per month. Why do I say this? Is because first, the main thing I preach, and the main thing I say that everyone has to ingrain in their heads and in their way of working as a freelancer is to charge in advance. You have to charge in advance. So which means that you are getting paid before you start working on the project. This is super important because this prevents you from not getting paid after you've done the work. And I think this is non-negotiable. Like if you work with somebody without payment, and if you keep doing that, you might be doing fine right now. Everyone's paying, but you will definitely have one instance where somebody won't pay. And by that time, you'll be an established freelancer. By that time, you will be charging more. So your loss is more. By that time, you'll be giving more value. So again, your loss is more. And by that time, you won't have the practice of charging in advance. So you'll struggle more to actually start including that as your policy. So it's very important to charge in advance. And this is possible if you charge per project. So let's say if you're charging by the word, okay, let's say it's 1,000 word article and you're charging by the word and you end up at 987 words. Now you have to finish writing the article, send it to the client, and then you'll get paid based on the per word basis. That's first thing. Second thing is, if you're writing 987, instead of getting paid 1,000 rupees, you're getting paid a few rupees less. So that's a small difference, but if you consider it in the larger scheme of things, it will end up being a bigger difference over time. And of course, there's no clarity. So if the article goes a bit over, then the client may say, hey, it was supposed to be 1,000 words. I don't know what you do. You bring it down, or I'm only paying you 1,000 maximum. So there are a few scenarios which the per word pricing just doesn't really fit well with. Same goes for per hour, right? Because you have to finish the work and then only you can charge for it. So you can't charge in advance. Whereas a per project is something I recommend. Of course, you can charge in advance. You know how much you're getting paid. You know how much you're making per month because there's no up and down with the cost. The cost is fixed, and you've already got, hopefully you've already got the amount in your bank before you start working. So it's fixed. And of course, you are more relieved because you know that you don't have to do this thing called following up for payments, nothing like that. So you're just doing the work. You've done with the work. That's it. Like once you get the payment, you can work stress-free, which is going to make a huge impact, by the way, to the quality of your work, because it's not about being money-minded or anything, but there is definitely a certain fear that, I might not get paid. So per project is the way to go. Even if you're new, the basic idea would be, let's say you're charging 1 rupee per word, then you can just say, instead of 1 rupee per word, you can just say, I charge 1,000 rupees for an article of up to 1,000 words. So whether you get 987 or 1,000 or even 1,012 words, you would still end up getting paid 1,000, which you charge in advance. So yes, you can use the per word or per hour rate to calculate a per project rate initially, but don't move away from the per project rate. Stick to it. It'll be a huge savior for you in your freelancing career.
Mm-hmm. Getting paid in advance would be something different for people, because most people that I see in the comment section of the videos are they have seen these clients asking for security deposit, and that's the worst thing that I see them.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
The basic idea is that, if you're working for someone and if you are the one who should be getting paid, you should never need to pay anything.
Right.
So do not pay a security deposit. Just please do not pay it. It's all a fake scam.
Exactly. How can people get clients? What would be the best platform according to you right now in 2021 to get clients for these services of content writing?
I always vouch for LinkedIn because LinkedIn is where I started. LinkedIn has worked for me. LinkedIn has worked for my clients. LinkedIn has worked for any freelancers that I have recommended LinkedIn to. They've always either got inbound leads. Maximum people have got inbound leads because that's something I've been talking about the most. That's what that's how I started. But after a point, I saw that inbound wasn't enough because there's a certain quality of clients you get through inbound. You can't control it. You can't control the number of people you get through inbound, and you can't control the kind of or the nature of work that they're expecting. So that's when outbound comes in. So I would say initially start focusing on LinkedIn. Why not Instagram? Why not Facebook? These are mainly entertainment platforms. You may not be able to build a professional brand easily there. They push entertainment content, which means it's not easy to grow there either unless you are entertaining somebody, which is difficult in this freelancing niche. So I would recommend stick to LinkedIn, create content. You can use other platforms, but create content. Another thing I do recommend is outreach. So you can outreach means you're reaching out to people and telling them about the service that you offer, and you're expecting them to become your client. So that's outreach. It's cold outreach, which means you've never even spoken to them. So let's say I don't know whoever's watching this, I don't know you, but you decide that, okay, this Shreya, I've seen Shreya's Instagram and I think I can do some video editing for her, improve the way she makes videos. So let me just DM her and see if I can help her out, if she's interested. So I don't know you. You know me just in the capacity of me being online. We've never spoken, but you're still DMing me and asking me for the work. And this, again, can be done on any platform. This can be done on email as well. Emails are very common. But if you build a good LinkedIn profile, then you can easily do it on LinkedIn as well. The beauty of LinkedIn is you are connecting with decision makers. So you're not connecting just with employees, which is common. Like, let's say reaching out on Instagram, then it's usually somebody managing the brand that's going to see your DM as opposed to the person themselves. So I highly recommend using LinkedIn. You can reach out directly to founders, co-founders, managers, the main decision-making people. And also, if you have a good person brand on LinkedIn, then they can just instantly see your profile and decide whether you are somebody they want to work with or not. So LinkedIn, definitely, an outreach in any format you want to do. And LinkedIn DM is the easiest way to do outreach. So you can try those out, and I'm sure that it'll work for you.
Awesome. Tell me about automation in content writing. So I have learned about artificial intelligence when I was in my first semester of college. And so there's this new AI called as GPT-3, right? So what it does is that it's actually sort of a multi-purpose AI. It also does a bunch of things like writing content and like writing articles. So you give it like a sentence. Let's say Apple launched dash 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 iPhone, and then it will give you the complete article on that. Right? So what do you think about this? Is this going to disrupt the content writing field for you as a freelancer in this?
I think the concept and the technology is very interesting. I'm not worried about it. That's the main thing. I think it's very interesting how far we've come with content creation. There are certain things that are different about that kind of content creation as opposed to what a human would do. And even if there weren't any major differences, I would still not be worried about it at this point. So I would say if anyone watching this is interested in being a freelancer and is just thinking about things like whether this technology is going to take my freelancing career away from me, or even like the freelancing market is saturated, I would say it's not really going to happen anytime soon. So just start freelancing, start making some money. Or if anything, just use it as motivation to start sooner, to start making more money as much as you can before something gets disrupted. Why not think about it that way?
Yeah.
So yeah, just think about it, backwards. And yeah, I think don't worry about that. Don't think about that. Just focus on improving your skills, reaching out to people, finding clients, and becoming an established freelancer. Focus on that.
Amazing, Shreya. Thank you so much for joining me here for this session. All of you guys who are watching this video can check out her content on Instagram. It's amazing. I too have learned a lot about freelancing from her reels, from her posts. So you can definitely look at that. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Ishan. Thank you.
That's it, guys. I hope you got to learn something from this. Let me know in the comment section what do you think about this. You can also comment by saying I watched till the very end, and that would be great. Follow me on Instagram, follow her on Instagram as well if you are interested, and I will see you again in another video.